Here's my word to you with regard to Sam. This lady has spine. She has courage. She has conviction. She's a conservative Christian, and she's proud of it, and she will defend it in the face of any foe.
The late Justice Antonin Scalia, one of the greatest minds that ever served on the Supreme Court, said, "God assumed from the beginning that the wise of the world would view Christians as fools, and he has not been disappointed. Have the courage to have your wisdom regarded as stupidity." The key to a happy life is conviction. In SEAL training, new recruits are told that nothing matters but their will to succeed. Part of their qualifying test is an ocean swim in the dead of night, and they are warned that the waters are shark infested. And if a shark starts circling, do not swim away, do not act afraid, do not back down. Punch the hungry shark in the nose. Now that's what I call conviction. There are plenty of sharks in the world. And if you want to change the world, do not swim away, because that is when they will strike. Gird yourself, stand your ground, fight for truth. Alfie Evans is the toddler that the British courts recently condemned to death because they couldn't afford to have Italian doctors succeed where the socialized national health system had failed. The judge determined that it was in Alfie's best interest to die because that preserved the facade. So I ask, where were the voices of righteous conviction on behalf of little Alfie Evans? Where was the media? Where was the Queen or the international community at large? Can you imagine if Pope Francis had flown to England and carried Alfie out of that hospital room, saying something to the guards like, "Go ahead, punk, make my day," but in Latin? Then we have Ronald Reagan. Reagan's aides begged him not to say that thing. You know the one, right? That phrase that was a call to God on high on behalf of the desperate enslaved people in the Soviet Union and its satellite countries. His advisors didn't want him to utter that challenge. Swim away from the shark. But Ronald Reagan's words that day were a proclamation as well as a punch in the nose. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Reagan had already summed up his conviction. Do you remember this? "Here's my strategy on the Cold War," he said. "We win, they lose. When you're 20, you care what everyone thinks of you. But when you're 40, you've stopped caring what everyone thinks of you. And then by the time you're 60, you realize that no one was ever thinking about you in the first place." Okay, swim toward the sharks. Stand firm in your faith, because if you don't, you will forever be making excuses and rationalizing the reasons that you didn't. And that is a shark that will devour you from the inside. As Scalia told us, be fools for Christ and have the courage to suffer the contempt of the sophisticated world. I'd like to close with part of a Franciscan benediction. It goes like this. May God bless you with enough foolishness to believe that you can make a difference in the world so that you can do what others claim cannot be done, to bring justice and kindness to all our children and the poor. Amen. Thank you.